Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen as we have a calm conversation about the mundane, although I have to admit, I'm pretty excited right now. I'm your host, Marco Timpano, and rejoining us, one of my favorite people in all the world, and more than a friend of the podcast, co-creator, wonderful friend, Nidhi Kanna. Welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Marco. I'm so excited to be here.
This is a joy for me. I just need to say that. And for our listeners, they're going to be very happy too.
I'm really excited to be back.
How are you?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been.
You know what's really interesting, Marco, is walking into this pod space and remembering the before times.
Yes.
Before you had even this space, but also to just see it evolve has been really cool. It feels bigger.
Okay.
It feels different.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe because you know how when little kids, when you're a little kid and you go to elementary school and you think that the toilets are really big, and then you go back to your elementary school and you go to the bathrooms and you see like they're actually kids' toilets and you're like, oh, I don't remember them being so small, big, or whatever.
Small, yeah. Even like seeing your teacher that you had when you were young and then seeing them as an adult and you're like, oh, I remember you being such a towering figure and you're just smaller than me now. It's just a fun...
Although now I'm realizing it's actually the opposite. I feel like it's bigger than what I remember it to be.
This pod space.
Yeah. I kind of messed up that analogy.
Get that. I get that sort of like, your mind's impression of it is different. And then when you revisit it, you're like, oh, here we go. Yeah.
See, Marco, you always got my back no matter what.
Listen, you've had my back in so many ways. And I just remember sitting with Nidhi and for hours figuring out the smallest minute thing, because when we started podcasting, there wasn't a lot of podcast information out there. And just discovering things and spending hours and hours editing and figuring things out. It's insane.
And now you're a pro. Like this setup is spectacular.
Thank you. It's a closet that was an odd shaped space. So it was odd for a closet. And because there's cinder blocks on this side, we couldn't build anything. We couldn't do anything with it. So it became a pod space.
You know what it reminds me of actually, Marco, is, so listeners, Marco saved the day when I moved into my condo. I bought a condo for the first time in my life a year ago, actually.
Beautiful condo.
And Marco came over with Amanda, and all I said to him was like, listen, I will give you wine, I will give you snacks, I will give you anything you want. I just need you to build this kitchen island. And Marco built that kitchen island almost single-handedly, because Amanda and I just stood there catching up.
No, you would get, when I needed tools, I was like,
you told us what to do.
And you guys were great. And it was an awkward shaped thing. So we had to really, I needed the hands. And yeah, I'm happy to do those things. You need to paint something now, right?
I do.
So tell me about that.
I need to paint a big wall. So the corridor wall.
Oh, yeah, that's a big wall.
And I'm thinking there's something about like a deep red.
Oh, okay.
That is speaking to me. So I have some samples.
I was hoping you weren't going to say red.
Oh, no.
Not that red is bad. Red is not bad.
Okay.
But something to note when you're painting with red is your primer. You need a pink primer for reds. Because if you paint red on a white wall, it doesn't show the true red. So you have to, and once again, this is just coming from me. I'm not, I'm not an expert painter. I'm not a colorist. I'm none of those things. I just know that when you paint red on a wall, you've got to prime with pink before to get the true red out. Otherwise, you have to put multiple coats of red on. Now, here's the thing with red too, okay? Once again, I'm not against red. If you want to paint red, you paint red. Once you have red on your wall, to remove red afterwards, if you're like, okay, red's been great for these 5 years, I'm ready for another color, it's a lot of work to then get the red off the wall because red will bleed through as well. So you just got to be aware that red is a tricky color.
I feel like you're against the red.
I'm so not against the red.
I think you are against the red.
I'm not. I've helped someone paint their place red. Red and black. Like if you were like, I want to do a whole chalkboard wall.
I'm not a goth.
No, but like let's say, you know how people like to do chalkboard walls?
Oh, I see.
And I know there's listeners who have beautiful chalkboard walls, and they're going to say, actually, it was easy to get on and it was really easy to get off. My thought process, or what I've seen, suggests that you've just got to be aware that the process of putting it on, and if you want to paint on top of it, that dark black may bleed through.
What are your thoughts on wallpaper?
Wallpaper is great. It's not fun to put up. That's the only thing I would say.
Not even peel and stick?
Peel and stick is easier, but I don't think peel and stick sticks on the wall as easy as proper wallpaper.
Okay.
But they've come a long way. So what peel and stick was 5 years ago even isn't what it is today. So I feel like wallpaper is great, but the more intricate the design, the more you want to line it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you have, let's say, a tree branch that goes from one wallpaper to the other, you have to really line it up proper. Otherwise, you'll always see that
line
mismatch. And I'm not the best eye for that.
You're making me want to not do any of these.
We did wallpaper in that bathroom.
No,
I didn't do any of
but
it.
like now I'm like, oh, maybe I just need to. Do I want to do this myself? You know, do I want to DIY it? What is it, DIY it?
Yeah, of course. Here's the thing. Paint is paint. You can get on the wall. You can paint over if you don't like.
Yeah, unless it's red.
Even if it's red, it just means you're going to have to put a strong coat of whatever primer on top of it. You just ask the person at your paint store, I have red. I'm going to paint on top of it. What do I do? And they'll be like, here's the coat that you need to use.
But what would be your favorite or like your most versatile, and don't say white, color to paint with?
Oh, So here's the thing. Here's the truth that I learned. When you buy paint, do not buy the cheapest paint. So
Right.
I painted a wall. It was a feature wall. Just a gray. I just wanted to do one wall gray because I had, I don't know, the headboard was going to stand out and look good against it. So I was like, it's just one wall. So I got the cheapest kind of paint. And he's like, and the gentleman who was helping me was like, you really should spend $15 more and get this. And I'm like, it's just one wall. And that paint would not stick on the wall. Nidhi, I'd roll it and it would be like, no, I don't want to stick or what. And it was like, it didn't go on nice. It didn't glide right. I had to do many coats. It was frustrating. So my tip is always use a good quality paint. Doesn't have to be the best, but you want it to be good. And then your painting life will be easier when you use better quality paint. I do like darker colors. I do like to use a color against a white. Like
Yeah.
I'm never like, let's go off white on this white because it's so hard to see. And it's like,
No, and yeah.
but don't
Anyway.
be afraid to paint. Don't be afraid.
No, I shouldn't be, right? Learned so many things from you in the past. And now
Please.
I'm going to learn painting.
Yeah, you'll be great at it. The other thing is like tape and take your time with the cutting. Do you know what cutting
yeah.
is? When you do the trim. So like where the wall hits the ceiling, you want to do a line on your wall.
I already hate this.
Yeah, so it's called
I
cutting.
really-
It's the hardest part. But you want to cut to get close to the ceiling without touching the ceiling, but do a band so that when you roll, you don't have to go all the way up to the ceiling, right? That's
right.
called cutting. So just take your time with cutting. And there's so much out there. You can watch videos that'll really show you to do stuff. And a lot of the stuff I might say is like old information. So go paint and have fun.
Go wild.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm so thrilled to have you here, and I'm thrilled to talk about these topics. You're always so great at just bringing up a topic and we just go forward with it. It feels great.
Old times.
Yeah, old times. Speaking of old times, what's something you've done recently that you haven't done before that you've really enjoyed? Because you scuba dive.
Mm-hmm.
You're a scuba. I remember on the podcast where you're like, I'm taking scuba lessons now. You're an expert scuba diver, and other things you've done. So impressive.
You know what? That's a great, great question. What have I done? Say it again. What have I
What
done?
have you done recently that you haven't done before that you're really happy about? For example, I took a swim class,
Oh,
a
yeah.
beginner swim class, and Nidhi, I'm the best of the worst.
I love this.
I'm so happy. That's not to say my peers aren't great. We're all learning. But the teacher will often say, look how Marco's doing it, which I'm a little bit embarrassed about, but also indicates to me that I'm doing it correctly, so I'm happy. I'm learning to swim.
I love that because you are now the third adult that I know who has recently told me that they're taking up swimming lessons.
know.
So kudos to you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything like that recently.
Mm-hmm.
I did go to Mexico City.
Oh.
You've been to Mexico
yes.
City.
Amanda loves Mexico City.
Right?
She loves it. Yeah.
It was pretty magical.
Did you go there for fun or for vacation? Oh, sorry.
I kind of equate the two together.
For work or for vacation? Sorry.
Vacation.
Oh, great.
Vacation. I had a friend who was turning a milestone birthday there.
Wonderful.
So a bunch of us went down and it was really nice. And
What was one thing that you discovered about Mexico City that you didn't think prior to going to Mexico City?
So two things. One is I didn't quite contemplate in my head just how vast it is when you're in the sky, and just it is a huge city.
Nidhi, that was my same impression because I knew that it had a large population.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize the expanse of the city, like how far it goes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just expecting dense population, but it wasn't like that for my experience anyways.
I loved it, and I just loved the way the city seems to be working around nature rather than feeling like it's against nature.
Yes.
And so even the parks and the park benches and the dog friendliness and the way that people move through the city, it just feels I don't know, I guess I didn't expect it to be so green and so park-based.
Lush.
And lush.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, right? There's a lot of community space. The way they use community space is so much more animated, and it becomes the backyards to everybody, right? And so I loved that. I loved seeing people salsaing and dancing and just having fun, and the bar scene and the food scene. I wasn't expecting the food scene.
The food scene in Mexico City is tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Did you happen to get the guacamole that has the little grasshoppers on
I
it?
did.
So
I did.
That's how we found out, or that's how we remembered Amanda had allergies to exoskeletons.
Crickets?
Anything,
Exoskeletons.
any sort of bug, Amanda cannot eat. So you know how they're using more.
Well, how did she find this out?
She ate a soft shell crab and had a reaction.
Oh.
And then certain red things she would get a reaction to. So
Not walls, though.
no, like chips or red velvet cake. And so we couldn't understand why. We thought it was the dye. We kind of deduced it was the dye. And then it turns out that in some natural red dyes, they use the cochineal beetle and they'll crush it and they'll use it. And so because it's the exoskeleton of a bug,
No way.
she cannot eat that. And so there might be a listener right now saying, that's what it is. They have the same issue. So they're using a lot more proteins made from these sources. And so she's got to be careful with that.
I think you just changed someone's life out there.
I hope so. That'd be
think
nice.
so.
Yeah.
Somebody's having a realization right now.
Now, that said, I don't want anybody jarred because I'm talking about bugs, because there's some beautiful bugs out there, too, that are just really lovely to watch, and butterflies and moths and ladybugs and ladybirds and all these cute little animals out there having a good time.
They are having a good time, aren't they? Butterflies are hit and miss for me.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty, but I think people go a little overboard with the love of butterflies
Sure.
sometimes.
What about dragonflies?
Oh, dragonflies.
My sister loves dragonflies for some reason.
Yeah, I feel like, they're little helicopters.
Sure.
Sure. I'll deal with them, But, yeah, the crickets were an interesting taste.
Sure.
I wasn't expecting it on guac.
Yeah.
Would I do it again? Maybe.
I have no problems with that kind of stuff.
No?
No, not really. Not really. Things like that don't bother me.
Well, hopefully they're not bothering the sleepers right
But
now.
I'm going to a theme park tomorrow, and roller coasters scare me. So
Okay.
I'm just going to eat funnel cakes. That's my job.
Yeah, that's
Funnel
fair
cakes, yeah.
enough. That roller coasters scare me as well. Heights in general, but roller coasters, I don't like the feeling.
Neither do I. It's not for me.
No.
It's not for me.
No. I'd rather be lounging in a pool with a cocktail.
Where are some of the best pools you've been in?
Pools I've been in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So,
Like, are you an infinity pool type of person?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we were in Mexico, it was this really nice infinity pool we went to the Pacific coast.
Oh.
And there was this beautiful family-run resort that was probably made in the 80s. Like the rooms are still nice and big, but kind of rustic. But they had this infinity pool that overlooked this cliff. That was on this cliff, sorry. It overlooked the ocean and the beaches. And it just felt very James Bondish. There's been a couple of pools in my life where I feel like there was one pool in Greece where I felt also a little bit James Bondish. And it wasn't like a huge, expensive pool, but there was something about it, like the vibe of it. It was almost because it was a little bit smaller, but it overlooked a scenery that felt really luxurious.
Speaking of luxury, one of our most popular episodes is Nidhi's luxury episode and the bougie episode. So it's just, I think it calms people. And we talked about things that were bougie back then for you. But what's bougie for you now?
I still think candles.
Okay.
Like, now we're getting into a $50 area, right?
Sure.
For a candle.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like bougie.
No, yeah.
But I would love to be able to just walk into one of those, and we see them more and more now, these boutiques that kind of sell something but nothing at the same time.
Yes.
And you're not quite sure what you're supposed to do with all the things that are in here, but you feel like you should have it in your home to signify comfort.
I hear you. It's the things. It's, do I want this or do I need this?
Right.
There's a difference, right?
What smell or scent of candle do you feel has gone overboard?
Okay. So for me, it's anything pumpkin spice or cinnamon spice.
Yeah.
Kind of any of that kind of smell or scent. The problem is if you light a candle that has that, I will start to get hungry. It'll be like, oh, I need a pie of some sort at this moment. I'm craving some sort of latte that has pumpkin spice in it. Like I start to want to eat. So, or gingerbread, like that gingerbread smell. I'm like, you can't light that candle in my presence and not expect me to be thinking about eating that.
I'm over pumpkin spice. I just, as a flavor, I'm
So
done.
If someone was to buy you a candle, what are your top 3 scents?
Sandalwoody,
Yes.
right? Floral, like rose, lavender.
You know, a lot of people don't like rose, and I love rose petals in food.
Do you like rose water?
I do. I have no problem with rose water.
too.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of people don't like that.
Amanda's not a huge fan. Like even orange blossom. I know. She can't eat bugs, and she
doesn't like roses.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
So, lavender, sandalwood, rose.
Yeah, and I would do. Ones that I don't like are things like pine.
Okay. Yeah.
Like too woody.
Mm-hmm.
Or things that are trying to really get into more musky.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, the ones that are named after, Niagara wine country, and now it's a wine smell. I'm not really into that.
Okay. So speaking of scents then, going even more bougie, what is your scent, perfume, or eau de toilette? Like, what do you like? Is there a brand? Is there something that you're like, I always feel good if I wear this?
Okay.
Because our listeners, I'll just say this. Nidhi always smells great.
Oh, thank you.
The shampoo you use, you always smell great.
I'm very happy to hear that. It's quite a big compliment, so thank you. Scents. So if I'm going bougie.
Yeah, let's go bougie.
The J'adore by Dior.
Yes.
Good classic
Is
scent.
that in like a little teardrop shape?
Yeah. But recently when I was at the airport duty free, which is where people get their, come on now, where you get your perfume.
That's where you got to get it.
Like we're in the 80s. Did you have that? Like, I remember whenever my parents traveled or anyone traveled, it was always like, bring me back perfume from the airport duty free, or bring me back, like, my dad would always ask for whiskey.
Yes.
Like a bottle of whiskey.
Yes.
Remember when that was a thing? I don't feel like airport duty free is a thing anymore, but it was a thing at one point in life. And so we were there on the way back from Mexico City, And the scent that really attracted me was a Shakira perfume.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm doing this.
Listen,
let's go for it.
Yeah.
Shakira.
You know, a friend at work was wearing, or I turned to him, I said, you smell really good. What is this perfume? And he kind of laughed and giggled. And he's like, I'm embarrassed to say, but it's the Cristiano Ronaldo perfume.
Listen.
And I was like, listen, they're stars. They could pick any scent. They pick a nice scent. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm for
Oh,
it.
that's good to know. Yeah.
And it's in this bottle that's like shaped like Shakira's body. It's great. It's great.
It's almost you're embarrassed to have it out, but also it's
also
cool.
great.
It's kind of awesome when you're
like,
like, this is so great. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So funny enough, I like certain scents, but Amanda likes other scents on me.
Oh, okay.
So,
this is interesting.
Yeah. So there's this, and we're talking about perfume bottles. So it's a Zaro, which is a brand I would never buy for myself. And it's like, I don't know if it's called chamber or what it's called, but it looks like a chamber of a pistol, like just the chamber part. It's not called chamber. It's called something I don't know. And it's like, I don't want a perfume bottle.
This is like the least Marco perfume.
This is so not. This is not what I would ever pick. And every time I wear it, she loves it on me. I'm out of it now. So I asked for it for Christmas, and I'm like, I guess I'm going to have this like chamber perfume that looks like a chamber in a pistol. And I'm like, this is so not for me. I like I want Valentino or I had Burberry or something like that. And it's like, no, this lower brand designer. And it's like, okay.
Well, you know, Marco, I was just thinking how much we used to laugh those first episodes, and we'd have to stop the recording because it was so funny. Because being able to talk like this and just be in conversation, there was something foreign about it in terms of, or inorganic really.
Indeed,
around our ability to being connected like that. And I feel like now it's so natural. And I don't know, do you get that with guests? Do you find like now there's a little bit more naturalness, maybe because of, you know, Zoom calls, and are people a bit more comfortable?
I think what I've learned is that I prefer to do podcast episodes with people like yourself, Amanda, Nima, people who I feel immediately comfortable with, and I don't have to do so much of the work. Sometimes when you have guests that they still can be friends, but you've got to draw things out, or you have to worry if they feel comfortable. I don't ever have to do that. So the conversation, what I love about conversations with you is they can veer, and it's always like a gentle little, you know, chicane that brings us somewhere else. And I'm always like, this is just so nice. And it just feels very fluid, effortless, effervescent too. So all these things really work for me.
What do you think the art of like good conversation is in this day and age?
I think it's listening. I think it's important to listen to what the other person is saying and not worry about what thoughts come to you, because those thoughts will always come back. So for example, when you're talking about Mexico City, having been there, my mind could race to, as soon as Nidhi's done talking, I'm going to mention this Mexico City thing. And so in that process, I'm no longer listening to you. I'm listening for the moment where you're going to stop speaking so I can mention, did you go here or whatnot, right? So I've really had to train my focus and my brain to be like, okay, those thoughts can come, they can appear, and they can go to the background because I have access to them. I know that, and if the time is right, I will bring them out. Rather, let's focus on what Nidhi or my guest is saying so that if something else comes up that's interesting, I can ask about it rather than insert an experience I have. And if the timing is right for me to insert that experience, I will. But yeah.
I really like that, and I think it reminds me also of some of those early day episodes. Remember when I used to do the signal? So Marco is a wonderfully animated person. But as we were trying to find our cadence in those first few episodes, you'd get too excited.
Oh, yeah. About ladles, I think, one time in particular. Yeah.
It was like, okay. And so we had this signal where it's like, slow it down, slow it down. But it's funny because I was thinking about that actually the other day because I was dealing with something and I just had this moment where I'm like, I'm going too fast. Slow it down, like Insomnia Project slow.
Yeah.
And so sometimes every now and then I'll be like, Nidhi, Insomnia Project slow. So
sometimes in the studio, I can actually picture you doing that when you're not in the room, when I'm going too fast and I'll slow down. Amanda will also, she's not as delicate as you with that. She'll just give me dirty looks like you're going too fast, and she'll just kind of do a stronger hand. But these signals too, and especially when you feel comfortable with someone, that kind of a signal is a wonderful thing to receive, because it's like, oh, they're looking out for me, versus someone who you don't know who might do something like that, like put their finger in the air to tell you to silence. You might be like, hey, you haven't earned the right to do that.
Wait a second, has someone done that before? Yes, Insomnia Project gossip.
I don't know. No, never a guest. No, it would have been like in a, Nidhi, I've talked about this on the podcast, and I'm going to share it with you. So I had an experience when I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I wanted to buy a stamp for a postcard. And I walked into the post office, and it was like, these like post offices where they've been there since 1845, and so they really want to show that it's the old post office. And then you walk in, and it's beautiful facade, but you walk in, it's a modern day post office, and the postal worker who's there might not be in the best mood. Well, I walked in and I wanted a stamp for my postcard. And this older woman was working, let's say in her early 60s, was working the front desk. And I said, I'd like a stamp for this postcard. It's going to Canada. I don't want the circular stamp that looks like a flower, because I've used those. And she's like, well, those are the stamps you have to use. I'm like, well, actually, and I'm looking at all these beautiful stamps. I go, I'd like to see these stamps and use. No, those aren't the stamps. And I'm like, and she took my postcard and put the circular stamp on it. And I was like, I will never let this happen again. I will never let someone dictate what I need when I could have it didn't matter to me. I could have covered the entire postcard with stamps. There was a beautiful stamp that I wanted. It was kind of like, actually it's Mexican Day of the Dead, where people are dressed up in different sort of makeup and whatnot and elaborate costumes. They had these stamps, and I was like, oh, these stamps are so beautiful. I would have put 15 of those stamps on that postcard. But so that was a lesson that I learned, where I'm like, I'm not going to let someone else let me know what they think is right when it's not right for me. So that's a lesson I've taken quite a few years to learn, but I'm glad I learned it.
Okay, but I want the Insomnia Project gossip afterwards.
Honestly, I've never had a guest. I've had one guest that we never aired the episode because let's say they smoked something that caused them to be in a state of, I don't know.
Delirium?
Almost. It was they just took over, and then they started to really talk about things that I felt were not appropriate for the show. And then I have some guests, like, do you know Natasha Boomer?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like herding cats with Natasha Boomer. And so there's a particular episode called Christmas on the Farm that we do during the holidays. And it's just like a stampede of Natasha Boomer, and it's Amanda's favorite episode.
I love it.
And stay tuned in December, you'll hear it. But and I'm trying to ask her about delightful memories that she had celebrating the holidays on the farm, Christmas on the farm, and you think they're going to be great, and then it just veers to not a great Christmas story. And I'm like, but surely you had fun with getting a Christmas tree on the farm, right? It was like, it starts off, it sounds like it's going to be great, and then it's like terrible. And you're like, ugh. And so I was trying to somehow to get her to share a fun holiday. And she didn't for the whole episode. Hit stop. We're walking out, and she's sharing these wonderful Christmas memories. And I'm like, where was that 10 minutes ago on the podcast?
I love it. Actually, I love that when people would, I don't want to say be in character, but there was almost something very focused maybe during the conversation. And then as soon as the door would open or the recording would stop, it'd be like, blip, 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 blip. And you're like, wait a second. It's so interesting.
So now what I do is I usually ask pre-questions to the guests before we even record, just to get them talking and to get them feeling it.
What's one of the pre-questions that you feel really works?
What'd you have for breakfast?
Oh,
because everybody has it doesn't take much for them to remember what they had for breakfast.
Yeah.
So what did you have for breakfast today?
I actually don't eat breakfast.
But do you have coffee?
I do.
What's your coffee like? Like, what's your
coffee order?
Yeah.
Black drip.
Black drip?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've gone a whole other
Black
way.
drip.
I've changed, Marco. I've changed.
Do you like a bold, bitter drip, or do you like a nuttier? Like, what is the note of the coffee that you like in a? Because here's the thing about, and I'm doing what I shouldn't be doing. I'm asking you a second question, but when it's black, no sugar, right, and no creams of any sort.
Nothing.
You get the true essence of the coffee. So
know.
you would immediately know if the grind or the bean is good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes. And so I really like a nuttier, smokier coffee.
Okay.
I really like Ethiopian coffee.
Yes.
I really like Sumatra
Okay.
coffee.
Speaking of bougie, yeah.
I know.
Is great.
Actually, this is very bougie.
Do you make drip coffee at home?
I do. I'm actually out of coffee right now. That reminds me.
Remember we talked about, this is how long, do you remember when we talked about layering coffee?
Oh my God.
So getting a dark roast, a medium roast, and a light roast and blending the
Them
mix.
through.
Yeah, because what happens is your dark roast and your light roast hit certain notes of the coffee, right? So if you only use a dark roast, you only get those notes. But if you combine, let's say, a dark roast and medium roast, and with my hands I'm doing like 2 bars on top of each other, you get all the notes from top to bottom.
Okay.
So that would be an interesting experiment
That
for you to
would
try.
be an interesting experiment. I've if for beans that so first of all I grind the beans.
Of
right?
course.
Whole beans, grind them when
You
you
even
need them.
had a hand grinder, right? You
I have like one of those.
But you also have a hand grinder, don't you? Like a
No.
little wooden box one that has a thing. I think it's decorative. You had in your place.
Maybe.
You did.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't realize that's what it was. But yeah, so if I don't like the bean as much, I will add cinnamon,
Smart.
and then that feels really good. If it's a second coffee of the day, I'll probably add a little oat milk or something like that to kind of just take the edge off a bit.
Sure.
But for the most part, it's a good, dark, no cream, no sugar, nothing like that. Drip coffee in the morning.
I love this. Yeah, that's so great. And you know what's so great, Nidhi? Thank you so much for being a part of this particular episode. We've come to the end. If time just flew for me.
It did, as always, for me. Thank you so much for having me back.
And Nidhi, I'm going to let you say our sign off.
That's all for now. I hope you listen and sleep.